Okay, this video is an update on my SG41 Hitler Mule Cipher Machine, or Hitler Mill Cipher Machine. Okay, so this is what it's looking like now. There's the real one on screen, and here's my one. Right, it's not 100% as I would like it to be finished. The top's not screwed down yet. For instance, I've still got to sort out some details around the little printer section there, and there's some detail missing on there. See? But there's also that little bit there, those two pieces. But as a prop, I think it's brilliant. It's worked out quite nice. I managed to pick up this little counter display from work. See, it resets at the moment. I need to file the hole a little bit, but for what I need it for, it's perfectly adequate. I've written on some of the lettering Anfarbung Papler, or papaya, maybe it should be. It should be an I, not an L. But the writing, I can't really tell on the internet what it should say. I've just put dummy rotors. Basically, it's just white tape with letraset on underneath this little flap. See? I've tried to make this look as similar as I can to the real thing, working off online pictures. Obviously this one is recessed, but I didn't want to go to the trouble of doing that. There should also be a little plate in the centre there for lifting this up. See there? You can see that should be riveted on, and a couple of screws each side. But as I say, this is purely a World War II airsoft event or game prop. So these are a little extra item which I fitted on. They're two screw terminals for putting wires into. See, if I move them back, I can fit some wiring into it, and as I'll demonstrate in a moment. Now, this is the lid. I've tried to make that as close as I can to make it look like the real one. I haven't painted this top surface. I've just used mild steel and I've oil blued it, so that won't scratch off, and it'll give a bit of an aged look to it, I think. Now, I've made all these hinges. I've also done a sliding handle which fits in the bottom, like so. I'll show you that in a moment when I turn it over. Now, inside this, if I can do this, it's very simple. There is the counter, see, just there. That works off, well, it's DC pulses which would go into that, but because that little generator down there, little hand generator, produces AC, it sends a lot of pulses every time you wind it over, and generally the action of the counter only works in one direction. So as many pulses come out of that winder, little generator, when I wind it with the handle here, it makes it click over. Now that bell in there, I've just put that in for the hell of it, really. I could make the bell so that it doesn't actually ring, and it's just like a knocking noise inside when you turn the handle. The other intention was, I intended to use the bell as a form of signalling system, so that when someone sends a pulsed ring current from a different point using, say, a field phone, that the bell in this will actually ring. So it gives you a form of communication, even if it's just a bell ringing between 2 points. This just looks a little bit better than a simple old field telephone. Well, in my opinion it does. So I'm going to put this lid back down, and I'm going to screw the top back on. And this is the handle. I've tried to make it as much like the real one as I could in the way that it hinges. I've built that little hinge there so it swings back round like that. Now if I wind this, say that's the bell inside, and if you look here, the counter actually clocks up pulses when you ring it. As I say, I need to screw the lid on this better. Yeah, but as I say, in terms of it being a prop, I think it's looking quite good. I'm going to screw the lid on. Let's see what it looks like then. Okay, so that's the 4 screws I've put in it. They're all screwed up. Now you see this top plate slips under this front edge here, so all that scraped paint you don't actually see, so it looks a bit neater now. So if I flip that back over, I'll show you the underside. Now this is what I've done here. I've got 2 pieces of flat steel, and I've wrapped them around this steel bar which I've bent into a handle, and just drilled 2 holes, and then in the bar here, to stop them coming out, I've put 2 holes for it and fitted split pins on each side. So it's a little stiff, but I'd want it to be stiff like so. So that slides in and out, and the split pins will stop it sliding all the way out of these rolled up pipes I've made. Yeah, so it's looking quite reasonable. Right, so what I've just done now is I've hooked in a voltmeter on AC volts, and as you know, if I wind the handle now, the bell rings inside there. So as I said, the intention was I was going to do the wiring in this so that a wire coming into it and connected to that point there would actually make the bell ring. Then to send out a signal the other way, I would push this button here. Now I can't do this because I've got only one hand, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest this phone on there like that, and I'm going to wind the handle. Now you should in theory see an AC voltage generated on there, except the phone's coming off. See, it's varying in voltage. Sometimes it's saying 100 and odd volts there, but in general it should be about 85 volts AC on the wind. So it gives you quite a fair belt if you put your fingers across those terminals there. As you may have seen on my electric chair video, I might put a link over this video so that you can go and have a look at that if you've not seen it. It has got a little bit of swearing on it, but that's sort of understandable, because the guy is handcuffed. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that.